Can I just say now to the audience, if you thought that Rockbusters was bad, if you thought that piece of rubbish earlier about the Chinese hairy kid was bad, I'm suspecting this is going to be really not very good at all. I'm just pointing the finger.
What do you think of it? What do you think of his negativity, Carl?
He keeps doing it.
I just don't think you should start with the name of the quiz first. This is my only concern. You come up with cheapest chimps, and now you're trying to construct a game around that. And I'm not sure it's a proper. Well, okay. What is the game? Let's hear it.
Right. It's about a chimp. Right.
Surprising.
Spoke to an expert about him.
Who was the expert?
Someone at London Zoo.
Okay.
How many bananas do you think the little chimp that they've got at London Zoo eats a day?
Right. How many bananas does a little chimp at London Zoo?
Can they call in for this?
No, I'd leave it. I'm just testing it out on Steve, because we've already got an email thing going on here.
So how many bananas do they eat a day? One chimp per day, how many bananas?
Yeah.
How many bananas does a chimp eat a day? And does this mean that, because sometimes I've seen them on the telly, they peel one, they'll just eat a bit of it, then they'll throw it away. We're talking a whole banana?
How many bananas does it eat a day?
How many bananas do you eat a day?
Getting angry. Come on.
Well, I'll try and have 2 if I've got time, but I'm pretty busy.
Well, I'll go swinging on your tyre.
How many do you reckon?
I think, a little monkey, tiny little monkey, per day, over the course of a day, I reckon he probably eats 15 bananas.
Right. Ricky, what are you going for? Little chimp at London Zoo.
But hold on, but presumably they don't only feed it bananas. So
Okay.
so the question is...
It's how many bananas does it eat? Come on,
Yeah, but
Rick.
how many does it get given? It would eat 15 if it was given 15, but it might be given one slice of banana, 15 oranges, 200 potatoes and some lettuce.
How many bananas does it eat? Come on. Have a guess.
5?
Yeah.
Right. It's only 1.
Yeah, because it only gets given one.
Cheapest chimps.
What?
So, it's pretty cheap to have a chimp.
Right. I'm on your side now, Steve.
I don't understand what happened then. So at the end of it, you always shout cheapest chimps. Is that what? That's the quiz, is it?
Oh, play a record.
Wait, so is that it? Is that seriously it?
Is that it? Was that the first instalment of Cheapest Chimps?
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the press say about this.
And why does it only eat one banana? Because it only gets given one banana.
I think that's all it wants.
No.
So you don't even know, you didn't even bother to ask him?
It wouldn't just get given one banana and nothing else. It would get given banana and then lots of other stuff like apples, oranges, carrots. It would get given a balanced diet.
Cigars.
Yeah. So it's just how many do they give it at London Zoo?
I look forward to playing this again.
When I got back off holiday, my dad was in hospital. I shot back to see him, see how he's getting on, and hospitals are depressing places, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really, like, God, you know, even if you're not that ill, it makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
Because it's really, like, drags you down, there's people walking around moaning, you know.
You, mainly.
Yeah. Nurses.
And, my dad was like...
Yeah.
It's
High five.
Satire.
Do you know what I mean?
I would like to be the
They don't get paid enough and all that, and they do, like...
No, well, that's
Tony
what I mean.
Blair, are you listening?
I don't want to look like I'm moaning about the people working, because they all work really hard.
Yeah, of course they do, yeah.
But it's just
God bless
the hard depressing places.
High five.
Nice one,
Go
nice
on.
one.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm sat there, and my dad's getting fed up, and
Is that because you're visiting?
just he's quite an active bloke, and all of a sudden he's got to stay in bed, and you know, it's like sit down, stop moving about, and all this. So so he's sat there, and there's an old woman in the bed next door, right, and she's in a bad way anyway.
Yeah.
Right. She must have been, she looked about 98 or something like that.
Okay, good.
Right. Now, I don't know what was wrong with her, but she was always constantly moaning, and you could see that the nurses were trying their best to keep her happy, and she wasn't having any of it. And, you know, she was moaning because her hands had gone blue.
Well, that is a worry, to be honest.
Well, it's not, because she's 98.
Is that what happens?
But why doesn't the doctor, if I was a doctor, and I'm not one, but...
No, Carl, don't be modest. Are you a doctor, yes or no?
but if I was
think he's
there-
let it slip. Carl, are you a doctor?
No, listen.
Look me in the eye.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So this
Carl-
woman had blue hands. Had she seen, a spacecraft?
Right. So,
Go on.
she had blue hands. Now, She's 98. If I was a doctor, I'd be
No, she's not 98. You said earlier on she looked about 98. So you're making that up.
It's just shifted from speculation to fact.
Absolute fact now. Yeah.
Right, she's 98.
It is fact now.
There's a 100-year-old woman.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
If I was a doctor, I'd be thinking...
You're not, are you? You honestly...
How did I con them? How did I get away with this?
I'd be thinking...
Right.
She's 98. She hasn't got long left. Why not just let her be at home and be happy in her own space?
Yeah.
You know, and let her have a nice life, whatever's left.
Because she may hurt herself. She may have falls. Some people have to go in there for their own protection. She might not have immediate
more
family.
than that, she may not have been dragged in against her will.
No,
she may have come to hospital because she was worried about her blue hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was talking to Ricky, he said, "Oh, what it would have been is probably a bit of." Did you say it's rheumatism or something?
No, I said I mean, a blueness can be through lack of circulation.
Right. So just.
And
so,
I'm definitely not a doctor.
You've got blue hands, bad circulation. We're going to send you home. We'll give you a Rubik's cube. Play around with that with your hands. Get the blood.
Rubik's cube.
Get the blood pumping.
Yeah.
And don't worry. Don't say, oh, it's really bad. Just think she's 98. Let her have a nice rest of the life.
Yeah.
But instead, she was there, and the annoying thing was, and they do this with a lot of people in hospital. They pump you with drugs, try to sort it out. They don't, you know. There's probably a bit of guesswork going on. Maybe a little bit.
Not as much as you, but go on.
Right, and because of that, they sort of break wind a lot. So I'm sat there with my dad talking.
Whoa,
drugs do that, Steve. I'm sure if there's a doctor listening or a nurse, they will clarify that if they pump you with all sorts of stuff, it wants to come out.
Right.
So you're sat there having a serious chat. It's a quiet hospital. The woman next door with the blue hands suddenly starts seeping gas, right? Well, I start laughing, because if there's one thing that makes you laugh, it's that.
It's a 98-year-old woman with blue hands fine.
So you try to hold it in because it's a really quiet hospital, and it'd be obvious that that I was laughing at, and I didn't want to be mean, but it was funny. And then it got me talking about my auntie, because my auntie Nora, she same thing, pumped her with loads of drugs. She used to have a cabinet next to the bed is like boots. She's got loads of stuff, right, for all sorts of stuff. And I mean, she's not that old, but she's on loads of stuff, right?
She's a bit coked up, as
she called up my mum once, and
yeah, you told us this. Go on, tell it again.
And she said, "Oh, how are you doing?" And that. She said, "All right." Bit worried though. My mum said, "Why? What's up?" She said, "I've been breaking wind." So she goes, "Well, you know." She says, "No, but this one is going on and on and on." And she was like, she was like, what do you say? What's like passing wind, farting for 5 minutes. one thing, not like, you know, trumping and then nothing.
Yeah.
Continuous
drone of a fart.
Yeah.
I don't think she had. How big was she? She must be the size of a barn.
No, she's not that big. She's, you know, she's good for her age.
No,
Quite
but I mean,
quite slim.
No,
It's
but
just-
fighting for 5 minutes. Where's all the gas? Was she circular breathing? Was she sucking it in with her mouth?
It was just, I don't know that much about it. But she called up my mum. About 2.5 minutes in.
Could you hear it in the background?
2.5 minutes in!
2.5 minutes in, she called my mum up, and it went on for a further 2.5 minutes.
Oh.
And she just stayed on the phone, did you?
Where was...
Going, can you hear that?
Well...
Did she hold the phone next to her arse? Listen to that.
She was off the ground.
I'm trying to work a tune down.
she was actually hovering. She was 4 foot off the ground when they found her, the ambulance men.
The cat's dead.
Don't light a match! Don't light that cigarette!
Yeah, it's like that advert. The kids come home from school, switch on the lights.
Yeah! There they see Granny hovering, turn the light on.
Be careful if you have an elderly woman at home.
Yeah. Drugs make you fart.
So that's what I'm saying, you know, just let these people...
What are you saying? No, wait a minute, what are you saying?
I'm saying let people enjoy the life they've got left.
No, you're not. You're saying don't put them in hospital, leave them at home to die.
No, I'm not.
Give them a Rubik's Cube and let them die. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you something now, right? Steve, I'll tell you something. I didn't want to do it because it'd bring the show down. But she did die.
Who, the blue-handed lady?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I said to my dad, how's the, woman next door? She said, oh, she went last night. They've got an old fella in there now.
God.
So, there you go. So, wouldn't it have been better to leave her at home, where her friends and family can call and speak to her, even nip-dap round if they want, you know, with a cat, I imagine.
No, it's definitely a cat now. What was that cat's called that you imagine?
Probably, I'm seeing like a big ginger one, so I don't know, something like, I don't know, maybe ginger, or whatever. Maybe I had a budgie. But that's what I'm saying, just let him enjoy his life, because dying in hospital, I wouldn't like to do it. If I went to the doctors and they said, you haven't got long life left, I'd say, well, I'll stay at home.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't do anything for them, let them enjoy their life. What I'm saying is natural.
Where was this happening? You were in a gym?
No.
A lot of guys are getting changed, and you were just checking out their...
You're at your bedroom window with a pair of binoculars,
No.
and there was a little fella across the road getting changed.
I was at some night out once.
Go on.
So you were at heaven, and you were in the toilet?
It was some night out, and some people come running on the stage, right? Some music started coming on, and these 4 people ran out. It was 2 women.
So you were at a gay strip club?
It wasn't gay in that, it was just a normal night out, well, you know, some sort of party night out.
Right.
These people come running on, right? You got 2 women, you got 2 blokes.
Right.
They whip their knickers off, the fellas whip their undies off.
At the same time?
Yeah, all at the same time.
Was it was it like a choreographed thing?
Like, what's it?
Chippendales?
No, what, you know, like Cheryl Baker was in it. It was that thing where they sort of, you know, on the Eurovision Song Contest.
Making your mind up.
Yeah.
When Bucks Fizz ripped off a larger skirt, conceding a smaller skirt. At no point did Bucks Fizz whip their knickers and pants off.
When you said Cheryl Baker was in it, I was thinking, what, didn't she used to host Record Breakers? I don't remember that on there. Tea Time on BBC One.
So that happened, and all I'm saying is, right, before I had a look at the woman's bits, right, I just had a little cheeky glance at the fellas.
Why? Why?
Just checking it out, just seeing is everything normal down
Why
there.
weren't your eyes drawn instantly to the ladies' bits?
No, don't believe me, I had a look at that. All I'm saying
But you went to the guys first.
I didn't know how long pants were going to be left off for.
So you didn't want to miss your opportunity, is what you're saying? You saw a window of opportunity to see some men's bits, and you thought, I better take it.
No,
because this may never happen again.
No.
So what happened? So there's 2 women, 2 men, right? I don't know what sort of event this is where you're looking at anyone get their knickers and pants off. I don't know why you're looking at all. So you go right. There's knickers and pants off. Right. Let's check out the knob and testicles first.
You're telling me you've never, like, when you've been in a gym or anything, you've not just sort of turned your head, had a look, and gone, all right, yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Sorry, let's just get this question right. Have we ever been in a gym and just taken a sneaky glance at a man's genitals? Is that your question to us?
Right. For me, it's the same as when you see someone who's a bit odd, 2 heads or whatever.
Well, I'll be honest. If I was in a gym and a bloke came in with 2 heads, I'd look. I'd get a sneaky glance in the mirror. I'd go.
Sorry, but you'd look at his genitals or his 2 heads.
His 2 heads.
Or would you you look at the heads and then think, I wonder if he's got 2 cocks, and just.
I'd have to have a look there. If I'll tell you what, and now I admit it, if I'm ever in a gym and a naked man with 2 heads walks in, I probably will check out the genitals as well, just to make sure that he's got 2 of everything.
Can I tell you the thing that always freaks me out? I do sometimes go to the gym, and I live in North London, and the thing that always freaks me out is if there's an elderly man, often quite short, and I say this only so you can picture something in your mind's eye, you know, because I live in North London. There's quite a lot of old elderly Jewish gentlemen, you know, wander around, and I'm always freaked out because there's at least 2 I'm aware of who've got very, very large penises, and I always find that really disturbing because sometimes you can't help but notice because it's like Godzilla coming through the change room. Do you know what I mean? And it's swinging there, and it never seems right that he's an old guy, you know, he's kind of a little overweight, quite short, and he's got a massive piece of action going on between his legs. And I always get, dare I say it, a little bit jealous. Because for a tall man, I feel I've been a little bit shortchanged.
Oh, wow.
So that I do admit, that's the only instance where my eye has been naturally drawn to it.
Do you know what annoys me in gyms? Where people walk round happily naked all the time whistling. They get weighed naked, pop a towel on and take off 3 ounces.
How exact have those measurements got to be?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Pop a towel on. I mean, unless you're going on the space shuttle, I reckon you could give or take a couple of stone. Yeah,
exactly, yeah. Absolutely right. Well, we've put that to bed. Well, it's that time. It's getting exciting. We've got Rockbusters results, but before that, a little bit of monkey news with... Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news. Karl Pilkington.
Brilliant. Nice to have. I haven't read that for a couple of weeks.
Go on then.
Alright, so, is that this little monkey?
Oh, yeah.
He lives in Morocco.
Right, I'll just warn you now, you're on thin ice from last time, okay? So, make sure, is this real?
It's been
Don't say
emailed
anything
in.
stupid. Think about it. As you're saying it, think to yourself, oh, is that true? Do monkeys do that? Do they think like that? So, go on then.
So anyway, yeah, so there's this magician in Morocco, right? He's got a little monkey working with him, right? The way it used to work, magician used to do his thing on stage, do a little bit of magic, people loved it. Then the monkey came out, had a little cap, walked around the crowd and stuff, got the money, had a good little team thing going on, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the monkey's name was 86.
Right.
Because back then there was so many monkeys, it was like, oh, what names, do you know what I mean, what names do you use, what do you do? So they just named them, right? So this little monkey...
What, he had 86 other monkeys? What?
No, it's just that because a lot of monkeys were sort of working back then, helping magicians out, you know, doing bits and pieces, busking, what have you.
Well, Rick, you know how there's so many...
Why would there be a confusion with that? If he only had one monkey, where's the confusion? People would go, oh, I'm not going to go and see that, I want to see 86, he's the better monkey. Do you know what I mean? What does it matter?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, why do they need... where was the confusion? With people going to the circus and going, what monkey are you going to go see tonight? I don't know. It wasn't a billing, was it, with a monkey?
But Rick, it's just the same with humans. You know, there's so many humans now that we can't give them names anymore.
Yeah,
they all have to have numbers.
Exactly, yeah, there's so many humans, you know, with 5 billion people, we can't give them names, it's impossible. But, you know, with a few monkeys
anyway, number
working...
122, go on.
So anyway, there he is.
86.
86.
With his hat.
With his hat, walking around getting the money.
Yeah.
Anyway, the magician sort of, you know, thinking about moving on. Because in Morocco he'd sort of done all the tourist traps.
Sure.
So he had a word with the monkey, said, how about we,
See?
No, let him continue.
Think.
Let him continue.
He didn't have a word with the monkey.
Let him continue.
So what do you think about going over to Spain?
Yes. Sure. So, the monkey was in agreement?
So he said, alright, go on then. Right, so they get in the car, and, like, the magician knew he'd have a bit of a problem on his hands, because you're not meant to take monkeys out of the country.
Yeah.
Right? So he thought, right, what I'll do, I'll get a car, right?
Right.
Stick the monkey in a boot, right? Get on the boat, and hopefully sort of, you know, stick it in some luggage and what have you.
Yeah.
We'll be over there, we'll be earning big money, everything's gonna be great. So the monkey was like, brilliant. So they get in the car, they're on the way to the boat, and pull over at a petrol station. And just before filling it up, he opens up the boot and he goes, "You all right in there?" And it's like, "Yeah, it's sound." So he leaves the boot open so it can breathe and get a bit of fresh air whilst it's filling up. Goes in to pay the money.
Yep.
Pays the money. Goes, "I'm just paying for the."
Right, this monkey is not going to drive away in that car, or we're never doing this feature again.
Carl, what happens? What's number 86 up to?
So 86. So
That's the ending, isn't it? That's the story.
Come on, let Carl finish the story.
It better not be.
Brilliant. You're gonna love it. Right, so he's in the petrol station, and he's going, right, I'll pay for pump 4. And the fella says, what are you talking about,
Pump 4, isn't that a monkey? No. Sometimes I use numbers for monkeys, sometimes I use... No, I mean pump 4.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
he says, what are you talking about? There's no car at pump 4.
Right.
Keep going.
Sticks his head out of the door.
Yeah.
The monkey's giving it some. Went over to Spain on its own.
I don't know what to do.
Well, hang on, let's just get a couple of the facts right here.
Right, what do you mean, couple of the facts? Right, there are no facts.
So,
It
number
didn't-
86.
Number 86 is a
he drove to Spain.
You are... honestly, Carl, you must know.
It was an automatic.
Right.
How
Carl,
did
you
he-
must know that is shit. There is no way a
Mad,
monkey...
innit? That's the thing with
He
his
gets
future, though.
stopped at customs.
It's mental.
How did he get through customs, Carl? Has he got a passport?
No, he was sneaking about because he didn't have a passport.
So he parked and then snuck through.
Do you want the facts?
Let me see it. Right, I'll examine this, Rick, and we'll play a record.
Play a
and,
record,
I'll have a
because
look
I
at the
can't...
facts
That's nearly as bad as the armed robbery.
They're just too convenient urban myths. Everyone you can tell an urban myth's not true because it's always this happened to a mate of mine, and when you say what happened then, they go, don't know, that was it. Was it? Was that it? Was it? Someone boiled a brain and that was it. There was no more story.
Well,
Were there any dates?
Locations, times?
I think it was in Belgium.
There's that one that a bloke, right, was going to get a phone call at 4 o'clock to find out if his business was, you know, okay, right? And if he didn't get the phone call, he knew he was broke, destitute. So dead on 4 o'clock, the phone didn't ring, so he went up to the
the roof of his office and he jumped off to commit suicide. And as he was passing his window, the phone was ringing.
Oh no.
Carl, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Think it through.
Think it through. Who told that story? Who told that story? As he hit the pavement at 120 miles an hour.
He's the only person who could have known that series of incidents.
Also, why didn't he wait?
dead.
As his life's at stake, why didn't he wait till 5 past? Actually, I'm gonna give it 5 minutes, just in
Just in case the lines are busy.
Yeah. And what sort of bloke goes out, I'll call you at 4, okay, if you're busy, well, call me anyway. No. If I don't call exactly 4, then, no, you commit suicide. Commit suicide? I would, because if I don't call at 4, that's the end of it. Well, call me anyway. No, that's not the way I work. Why can't you just call me and tell me the other way? Well, I'm telling you how I do it. If you're bust, I don't call. Can't you just call to verify in case something goes wrong? What if it's engaged? It won't be engaged. Just commit suicide at 4, please. It didn't happen, Carl. The other one, right? A bloke, right? He's on a train station, and I'll tell you how I heard it. He's waiting for a cruise station, whatever, and he shits himself. As you do. And so he goes, oh, my train's in 5 minutes, so he runs across to Millets, and goes, quick, Levi's, 36, the bloke just puts it in a bag, he runs onto the train, he goes into the toilet, takes his, trousers and pants off.
His soiled trousers
Yes,
and pants.
throws them out of the window, I won't be needing those again, cleans himself off, open the bags, it's a jacket!
Oh.
No, it didn't happen, Carl! At what point did he go into it and go, quick, Levi's 36, and the bloke went, sorry, Levi's 36, what, a pair? No, shall I wrap them? Them? It, shall I wrap? Just wrap whatever it is. Do you want to look? No, I'm not looking when you're putting it in the bag, please. Right? Well, 36 waist stories, well, don't say anything.
I've told you 36 Levi's. I put it in a bag and charged me for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss it further.
Yeah.
Just looking through some of the news stories that Carl did make it into Carl's news roundup.
Yeah.
Just this one you might be interested in. Headline: Woman says partner ran off to become vampire.
Yeah.
And it says a young mother says her partner has dumped her to become a vampire. Rebecca Roberts from Somerset says Matthew Barrett fell for a blood-worshipping woman in a US cult. The 23-year-old mother says he began shaving all his body hair, dressed in black, and used Rebecca's lipstick to redden his eyes. Rebecca caught him performing weird blood rituals in front of his computer at night, cutting himself to prove commitment. She said, I thought it was just a hobby. Everyone's got a right to one. I was pleased he'd found an interest.
Brilliant.
This is apparently from The Sun. Apparently he's left. He's gone to America. He's living in this Ohio-based cult. But it's the last bit where she's been asked whether or not, if he came back, would she take him back.
Sure.
And this is where I wonder if the journalist, you know how journalists are supposed to just report the news, be objective.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe the journalist here has maybe had some interference.
Made the quote better for them than, go on.
Because it says, I never thought this would take over his life. Now, if he came back, I'd say fangs, but no fangs.
Oh dear!
I can't believe. Imagine you're the woman, Rick.
Okay.
And I've come round.
You're the journalist.
I'm the journalist, and I've come in and I've said, okay, I read about this.
All I have to do is not say that thing.
You've come. I understand you're obviously quite upset. Everything's gone
gutted.
on. If he came back, would you take him back?
Definitely not.
Right. What would you say to him then if he came
just
back?
get lost.
Right, but
I'm really pissed off with you.
Would you perhaps say something a bit more pithy?
Not in this situation, no.
You're upset?
He cuts himself, he drinks blood, he's left me.
Sure,
sod off. I'm not interested, mate.
Because I tell you what.
Go on.
I mean, I like what you said there, but I wonder if we could condense that a bit more. If he came back, would you say...
Go away.
Would you ever say something like, thanks, but no thanks?
No, because it makes it flippant, because I'm really angry.
I know you're annoyed.
And I'm upset, so I wouldn't say... I certainly wouldn't say thanks. I might say no thanks.
But what if you sort of said it, like, aggressively, like you were giving him the finger? Thanks, but no thanks. Like, you didn't really mean
sort
it.
of sarcastically?
Sarcastically. Would you possibly say
I might say thanks, but no thanks, and that'll be it, and that's and I'd leave it there. I'd never change that.
Sure.
I'd never change those words.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Do you like puns?
Hate them.
Right.
I don't like
It's
Countdown, I don't like QI, I don't like any of those posh Cambridge, Oxford type. I hate puns.
If you had to say thanks but no thanks in the form of a pun, what would you maybe say?
I wouldn't. I never would.
Right.
I'd say thanks but no thanks. I would, I mean, I feel embarrassed that I'd even say that because I don't think I would even say thanks but no thanks.
Okay.
But if I did go that far, I'd leave it there.
Sure.
So.
Have you ever noticed, as I have,
Go on.
the similarity between the word thanks and fangs.
Not really.
It's very similar.
Not
Fangs,
really.
fangs,
F-T-H, there's a K.
Fangs very much.
G, it's A and S, well, the A, the N and the S, but that's about
Would
it.
you agree it sounds marginally similar?
Yeah,
Is it possible you might one day say fangs, but no fangs?
I wouldn't know.
Right. I could put that though, could I?
But don't say I said it.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Fangs, but no fangs.
Yeah. This is the thing, just, if you ever read an article in The Sun, The Mirror, anything, do not believe it. Really seriously question and query it, because
If it ends with fangs, no fangs.
if it ends with a pun,
Yeah.
almost certainly they never said it. Let's cue up the jingle.
Hang on. Alright.
Perfect.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news!
Right. Let's have a look. This one's from some woman, right?
Yeah.
And she was taking part in the London to Brighton bike ride, right? Lovely day, weather's good and everything.
What year?
She's just a couple of months ago. She's done all the training, right? Done all the training and stuff. Got a brand new bike for it. Got a little puncher outfit and stuff, all set for the day, right? It's a nice day. She sets off. They all start pedalling and that on the way to Brighton,
Yeah.
right? So she knows the route and that. Got her little headphones on, cycling along. Suddenly,
Right, okay, I'm sorry now. If a cyclist overtakes her, and it's going really fast and it's sort of hunched over, but it's got, like, lots of cycling gear on and a helmet and goggles, and they can't tell what it is, but they just know it's like a little hairy fella, who hasn't bothered shaving his legs, which is weird, isn't it? Because cyclists usually shave their legs, and this guy had really hairy legs. But, and it won. They gave it the medal. It won 3 years running. They gave it the key to the city. It had its own game show. And then someone said, hold on, though, this fella's sort of hunched over, and he's only 3'5", and his arms are longer than his body. It's a chimp! If it goes anywhere near that, we're never doing it again.
more monkey news next week.
She's cycling
So
along.
anyway, she's cycling along, right? And this tricycle.
I couldn't predict that!
There's always one element you can never anticipate.
Yeah! Got a kiddie's tricycle with a little kid on it, little hairy kid with a helmet, okay, just go on then.
Well, the tricycle comes
Whizzing past, yeah,
him.
strong legs, don't they, chimps?
So she's thinking that's, but didn't get a chance to see the face.
Oh, yeah, couldn't quite see the cyclist! Oh, God! You bald mank git. Go on. Yeah, research scientist Karl Pilkington.
So anyway, she gets to the end line, right? And they got talking. That's it was a nice day, nice race and all that. So did you see a little thing on a tricycle?
Thing? Well, what, a person, surely, just a human. Did you see that? No. Did you see that bloke on the tricycle?
So anyway, turns out.
Tricycle.
Yeah! But what did you say thing? Well, no, there's no suspicious. I mean, what did you say? Did you see that fellow on a tricycle?
Anyway, so it turns out
Go on.
it was a chimp.
You're joking!
Right.
Well, Christ almighty, there you go. Unbelievable, and it was a chimp all along.
So anyway, right. So the woman's like
We're never doing this again.
checking out the news. Right. There's nothing on it. She checks out XFM Monkey News.
Right, okay, I'll
I
stop you
don't
there
mention
again. Right, if it turns out she doesn't lose, right, and the circus goes, we're looking for our chimp, it used to ride this tricycle, and it escaped with police chasing it.
No. So she listened to XFM, see if I'd picked up on the story.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't have it and stuff. So she got in touch with the organisers of the London to Brighton bike ride, said, look, saw a little hairy fella.
Why did she care?
Because she wanted to know, she thought it was a bit odd.
Well,
Turns
why-
out it was a chimp. They weren't happy about it. Of
course not.
Because now the owner of the chimp wants to enter it into the Tour de France.
No! Oh, God! I'm gonna die! Oh, God!
In 2005.
Now, a couple of questions. I trust you'll be able to answer these.
Oh, God! Steve, help me out.
How did it get hold of the tricycle?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, no, that's fine. That's not an important point.
Like, that's important.
How
What's the
did
matter
it-
with you, Steve? He doesn't know that.
How did it know to... well, firstly, how did it know which way to cycle? But more importantly, how did it know there was a major bike ride? On
Just following the crowd,
No,
Steve.
no.
What's the matter with you?
The owner of it had trained it and stuff.
No, he hadn't!
It had already done the run beforehand, before the big day.
No, it hadn't.
Like I say, it wants to do the Tour de France in 2005.
No, it doesn't.
But there's something about animal rights. If they don't let it enter, they can kick up a bit of a fuss.
The animal rights it's cruel to make a chimp ride a bicycle.
Not if he
that
wants
it's
to.
prejudice that it'll go, is it 'cause I is hairy? You idiot!
Right. So.
Wow, that is the worst one yet. Absolute twaddle. Absolute rubbish, Carl.
Have you got a tricycle?
Unbelievable.
So the final stab is this guy says, there's a party I know of going on, right? Oh, blinking hell. So we go down to this party. Right, as we're getting there, as we're about to go in, he goes, now you know it's a singles party. I thought, oh, what? He says, you know it's a singles party. Oh, God. So I go in this party, it's right, it's all single people, right? Now, theoretically, that should be brilliant, right, if you're a singleton yourself. It's the worst kind of party to go to, because when you normally go to a party, right, and you're chatting to a girl, and she says, oh, I gotta go get a drink or whatever, you think, oh, she's probably got a boyfriend or whatever, or she, you know, she's with mates, that's fair enough. But when you're at a singles party, and a woman says, I'm just gonna go and get a drink, and then you just see her leaving, you realise it's not 'cause she's got a boyfriend or whatever, it's just 'cause she doesn't want to talk to you.
You can't even kid yourself.
You can't even pretend.
Oh,
and you suddenly sense everyone judging everyone else. So you see a girl and she'll like look at you up and down, and then ignore you and walk on. And it's like a massive slap in the face. It's like girls coming up to you and going, not interested. Just by being there, they don't have to say anything and they're rejecting you. And so, anyway, one of my friends has been reading this book, The Game, right, by this guy called Neil Strauss, which is sweeping a certain part of the population because it is one of those books written on how to meet women and seduce women, right? And there's this guy called Neil Strauss who infiltrated a sort of secret organisation in America of blokes who've got all these various seducing techniques, right? And one of the techniques which we've been discussing is something called negging, where if you see a very attractive woman, the theory is that she's getting asked out all the time by blokes, right? They're always coming up and saying, oh, you're really beautiful, can I buy you a drink? And that what you have to do to set yourself away from the pack is to sort of not be so obviously complimentary. So you come up and you almost sort of pay her a backhanded compliment, or you almost neg, as they say something slightly negative. So what you might say is you might go up to her and say, oh, I like your shoes, I've seen another girl wearing them in the club, right? And the theory is that she's sort of, she's a bit taken aback, she's a bit sort of thrown off, and then of course you start complimenting her, and you start building her back up again. It's very elaborate mind games. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but we've been talking about the neg, and I was chatting to a girl, and I was a little bit drunk, and I wasn't thinking it through, and I thought about the neg because it wasn't going very well, but I don't think you should say to a girl, I think your ears are a bit too big for your head, because you know what I mean, it's like you can't come back from that. And there's nowhere else to go, because that really is just an insult.
Oh, he's only gone and listened it down the little fucking car.
That jingle, of course, signifying yet another reading from Karl Pilkington's diary. As always, packed with rich insight into the man's mind. Had a late night last night because I stayed up to watch a programme about monkeys.
It's already good!
Of course you did.
It's already good!
Now, before I read on, I mean, is this not some kind of monkey news? Is this not a late return to monkey news?
Well, it's not that good.
Is it not? Whereas the other monkey news is...
Oh, chimpanzee, that's some more shit!
This is what he says. This is what he gleaned from the programme about monkeys. It sat on a bridge and wanted stuff off people to walk over the bridge.
What?
So it was acting as some kind of toll booth,
This is
was it?
ridiculous.
No, it was a bridge in like the jungle.
Oh, shut the fuck up!
And it's a monkey that sat on a bridge, and a lot of tourists go through the area.
No, it's a monkey
look up them.
who realised that if he sits there, he'll get stuff because it look like it's a cute little chimp begging.
No, but every time.
Yeah, because you give a monkey, I'm as bad as him now. If you give a chimpanzee a banana, and he starts realising that humans have things to give.
Yeah, but it's all
Squirrels
sorts of
learn that. But you don't go, you wouldn't say, went to the park, the squirrel's waiting at the gate. You have to give them a toll to go in. They're only going to give them a nuts. They come up to you every time. You fucking idiot.
Went to bed after watching it and fell asleep thinking about it on the bridge right now. It's a bit bad, really, because the monkey should work harder for its food. It made me remember the slug I saw yesterday that was eating bird poo. Nobody would ever help a slug with food like they do with ducks and monkeys. A slug's life is pretty bad. The only time they come out of their den is when it's raining.
Den.
So even their days out are depressing.
It is. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It is like, it's a horrible thing to be in it. a slug.
Love him talking about what is it like to be a slug.
No, just because, like, the monkey, even though it was being quite aggressive, everyone was like, oh, give it some water, and it was well, like, kitted out. It had, like, you know, chocolate bars, bottled water, some, like, you know, fizzy stuff, and all that.
An iPod, it was listening to Monkey News.
He could have had one if he wanted one. It was getting away with murder on that bridge. And that's just because it was furry. Yeah, if that was like a blob, like a slug, there's no way people would be that friendly towards it. And it just annoys me how you get this pecking order for, like, no matter what creature you are, favouritism. And that slug was only eating that bird poo because it wasn't being offered stuff.
If it was offered toffees or whatever.
Well, it's just sad, isn't it? It's come to that. That's what its life has come to.
Yeah, but it's not. As mollusk
raining, like
was down on its fucking luck.
He didn't live in a big country house,
No,
and his
but
wife
it
left
is.
it, the
I
kids
was
went and started hitting the
watching
ball.
it, and I kind of thought, and look, they do only come out in the rain, and it's depressing, and it'll probably get killed in a bit, and that was its last meal. I just...
Last meal!
But it wouldn't prefer steak and chips, Carl. It
No,
doesn't
a leaf,
have...
it must like a leaf or you know, at the end of the day, it's an insect. They love a
It's
leaf.
not an insect.
Well, it's part of that gang. It's part of that... No, it's part
They
of
hang
that...
out together. They hang out
Not.
together.
Why do you think it's part of that
Because
gang?
it knocks about in the woods in the same place as a spider does. But what I'm saying is they're eating boring stuff because that is what's
It's
in
not
their
boring
area.
stuff to them. They're not. I have no opinion of it at all. They take in sustenance.
No, but where you are is what you eat. When I'm in London, I'll have beans on toast for lunch. On holiday, what? Tapas? Go on, I'll have a bit. So it's whatever you eat, what's in that area.
Suzanne went off to work and I went to the shop to buy some envelopes. The shop was empty, but the fellow behind the counter was on the phone and just kept talking even though he could see I was waiting. I started to count backwards from 20. When I got to 6, he hung up and served me. I won't use the shop again. Question, why count backwards from 20?
So he's thinking, what's going to happen at 1? If I start counting from 1, he's going, well, let him carry on.
What, out loud?
So, not really loud, but like, more of a mouth action so he could see who was doing it. You know, like
Sorry, you just started miming counting backwards to a man in a shop.
He's on the phone. The
Yes.
shop is empty. I
Yes.
thought he'd like me custom. He could have served me and stay on the phone. Even though I don't like that, at least he's still doing what you know, he needs to do.
I'd have said,
working the
sorry,
shop.
can I just get these, please?
Yeah. Well, I stood there and I thought, it's annoying me now, my kidneys aching, and I started to get a bit of a sweat on. So I thought, right, I'm going to give him 20 seconds, and if he hasn't got off the phone, I'm leaving. And when I got to about 6, he served me. What's wrong with that? Again,
You are
giving
one of the
yourself...
strangest people.
It's just giving yourself a thing. I could have been stood there for
Free.
ages.
He's one of the strangest people who's free to walk
It's
the
about
streets.
no. I set myself a little target, and I thought I don't want to waste another 30 seconds in here. I'll give him 20. It worked. He served me at 6.
But it didn't work. Yeah, but did he do it because you were doing that, or did he finish his phone call?
I don't know. I was busy counting.
Looked at what's been going on in the world. There was a human head attached to a seagull's body in a jar.
Is that all it says?
This is the sort of weird stuff that goes on behind surgery doors. I doubt it ever flew because the head would have been too heavy.
Well, of course it wasn't. It didn't happen. It wasn't live.
No, but they try this stuff, don't they? That's like that program I watched with a
Well,
monkey's head
who
on.
has ever tried to put a human head on a seagull's body?
They've done loads of stuff like that. It's part of us moving on, isn't it? It's,
What are you talking about?
I'm not going to
Carl?
get into arguing about
Well,
science
you're
because
wrong.
it's all
Don't
behind
talk
closed doors.
shit.
How do you think we can change a heart now from another body? You have to try things out. It's trial and error. All sorts of weird stuff goes on in hospitals, but we let it happen because it's to help us out in the long run, isn't it?
But what are they aiming towards when they're going to find out if you can put a head on a seagull's body? What is that? What are they want to learn, and how do they want to apply that knowledge? A new heart, it is obviously for a reason. It saves a life.
Yeah,
What is this to save money on transport? Instead of getting a bus pass, you go, can I put my head on the seagull's body? I go, well, it won't work. Well, try it.
Yeah, but there is odd things like that. Like I saw a fish the other day, right?
Right.
And honestly, it's the weirdest thing. It was just like a blob with a face. Now I would never have said, yeah, let that swim about. I'd have killed it from day dot. I would have gone, get rid of that.
Oh God! Under what circumstances would you have killed that from day dot?
Or what, I'm just saying, looking at it, I'd say that does not work. And it looked sad. It looked like it didn't want to be about.
Have you got her number?
Oh God! Oh God!
about hamburger stuffing?
Oh,
Alright.
right, Carl. Alright. In the mouth, you mean?
Well, it says the record for stuffing the most regulation-sized hamburgers, including buns, in the mouth at one time is how many? How many hamburgers with buns in the mouth?
this is just...
You're not swallowing anything, you've just got stuffing in your
Carl,
mouth.
you'd be so good at this because your shape of your head. You've got a shape, his head's just like Hamburglar. You'd be good at this, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, you'd be perfect. You look like Zippy.
And the great thing is your head's empty, so you could get more in there. Do you know what I mean? This guy had a brain to contend with.
Do that. What is it? Is it possible? Is it
Well,
mental?
how many do you think it was? There were
I don't
3
know.
burgers in buns. What do you reckon, Carl?
What, how quick he ate them?
He didn't eat them, it's just how many he can stuff in his face. So literally hold them within his cheeks and his mouth, but don't swallow anything.
So what, how many burgers?
How many burgers did he manage to get into his face?
So it's a fella, he's not
Yes?
about 5?
No, 3. It's the
3?
world record. 3 is
How
the world
big
record.
are they, though?
It just says regulation size.
So we could go to McDonald's or Burger King and get just hamburgers, and that would count.
just the regular burgers, and we'll just stuff
They
them
won't
in
count.
there.
We got to get Norris McWhirter.
Well, we could practice it now, and then if you're triumphant, if
Come
you
on,
get 4
Carl.
in there.
I don't, you know, I've got a small throat and that.
Well, you don't
I
have
used
to swallow
choke
them, that's
a
the
lot.
great thing.
Yeah, but I don't like it. As a kid, I'd choking on stuff and I get funny about it.
Well, no, just keep your tongue at the back of your mouth, and we'll stuff the hamburgers in.
No, I don't.
Oh, come on! Do something!
Carl, that is Dynamite Radio.
Well, here, Steve will go and get the hamburgers.
Have I
Give
got to
us-
pay for them?
No, Carl, give us
I'm
the
not
money.
paying for them.
Oh,
I've
come
just
on!
spent 25 quid in total on a video on a Guinness Book of Records. That's costing me another 4 quid. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it.
come on,
No, I don't
give us the
wanna
money.
do that.
You're
It's
coming back.
too- no, I don't
Andrew,
wanna do it.
oh, come on!
I'm not doing it.
Come on, do it. It's an interesting thing. Come on.
You could be in the Guinness Book of Records, Carl.
No, leave it.
See if we can. Oh, please, phone in if you want Carl
No,
to eat burgers. You don't have to swallow them. You can spit it all out. You can be sick on my leg after. Oh, come on.
no, because I don't like the stretching thing either.
Don't stretch it. You
It
can
will stretch. I'll be like the little bloody dog on the Winston Churchill ad.
Don't swear.
Well, I'm just saying
on
though,
air.
I know, but
we
it's like-
apologise to the radio authority. Carl is not only swearing, but he's refusing to do things
Oh.
we come up with.
But the radio authority will be happy with me stuffing 3 burgers in my face.
God,
I'm
look.
not doing it.
Yeah, we will.
No,
We'll go.
leave it.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna
we-
go to- I'm gonna
I'll
go
give
to
you the
a break.
money.
Can we do
Play
songs of phrase or something?
No, let's do it.
No,
I'm gonna
right. Play record. Play record. You're gonna do it, Carl, or you're fired.
No, actually, he wants that.
No, you're gonna do it. Do it. Please do it. It'd be great. Honestly, please do it.
What about
Please.
Chicken McNuggets? Meet halfway.
No, there's no record for Chicken McNuggets.
Well.
Mental. Steve,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in one of the capital's many burger joints. I'm just about to go up now and order some burgers.
Where are you? What are you? Where are you in?
I'm in McDonald's in Leicester Square.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you getting? Just get.
Hang on a sec, yeah.
get
Hello
too
there. I
many.
need to order 5 regular hamburgers, please. If that's all right. Sorry. 5 hamburgers. Yes. You're probably wondering why I'm ordering only 5 hamburgers, aren't you? And let me tell you why. My friend is going to try and break the world record for putting burgers into his fat, stupid face. What do you make of that? Exciting?
Yeah.
Do you wish him good luck?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Kyle.
Tyre?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Tyre. I'll try and get Tyre to wish you good luck in a minute, Carl. The something short, though.
Five should be enough.
The world record is what? 3?
3, yeah.
Okay, good. I don't know what. Oh, here we go. How much is that? 3.45.
$3.45 for 5 hamburgers.
Good, isn't it? It's good value.
It's really, isn't it?
Really, yeah. I mean, if there's anyone from from McDonald's listening, they'd probably want to give us some free stuff. I would have thought. I would have thought, right? Would you just wish my friend good luck before you're just on the end of the line there? Just say good luck, Carl.
Good luck.
Alright then.
There you are. That's the people from McDonald's wishing you good luck. Carl, I'll be back shortly with the burgers.
Brilliant. Look, they can see it on webcam, can't they? They can see us stuffing these burgers into your mouth. And by the way, I'm filming this, Steve. Look,
Brilliant.
Look, I've got a camcorder. We'll put this on unseen footage on a DVD or something.
Or maybe on the website.
On the Oh, Carl, what if you break the record?
Okay, Carl, I'm coming round now to just monitor this and adjudicate.
What's the web? If people want to see this on the webcam, what is it?
xfm.co.uk.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Oh, can I, Steve?
I'm
Can
not
I do
being
that?
funny. I'm not being funny, right? But I think I have got like a bit of a wheat thing.
You've got a bit of a what?
A wheat allergy
Oh,
thing.
don't give me that.
No, seriously, my head's... I've been eating a lot of shredded wheat recently. and my head's got a bit bigger.
Carl, I don't think you can let us down now, mate. So you just got to put that first
No,
one in.
I can't put that like that in my mouth on its. I've got to break it up. I've got to break it up.
Can't break it up.
Can't break it up.
It doesn't say you can on the rule thing.
It does.
It doesn't. I can't look. I physically can't.
Try it.
I can't look. I'd have to be Jay Goody to be able to do that. Seriously, look. Oh.
Try it. Yeah, I know, but you're not approaching it right. That's it.
Come on, go on!
That's almost. Keep
Oh
going.
God, he's not going to do one!
Keep going. That's good work. Keep going.
How does he get brilliant? Keep pushing.
Ease it in. Ease it
Keep
in.
pushing. Get one in at least.
Ease it
Get
in.
one in at least. Get one in.
Ease it in.
Get one in. Push it.
You were saying about putting it in whole, and I don't think that's the rule.
Okay.
It's like you can get more in a suitcase if you put things in properly. So you don't just get all your clothes and chuck them in. So it's about. I reckon you've got to rip it up a bit.
Okay, do that then. See how many you can get in. You've got to get in 2.
No, just one.
No.
Well, it's
don't
pretty
rip it up
easy.
and pack it in. What do you do? Pack your
Swear.
cheeks first.
Honestly, Steve, my head is swelling a bit because I have got a wheat allergy.
That'd be good then, there'd be more room. Right, okay, look, Carl
so
is now just sticking it in his cheek.
Yeah.
Don't eat any.
You can't swallow any. It's like a hamster. You got to work it like a hamster.
Yeah, stick it in. Come on. Look at his face.
He looks like Marlon Brando in The Godfather.
Come on. Don't lose any yet. Right.
Pack it in, then use your fingers to pack it in.
Come
That's it.
on.
Wedge it in. Like you're grating the bath.
I can't do this either.
Keep going! Keep going, don't give up so early! This is part of the problem, you just give up, Carl, too quickly.
You failed again. It's like your history O level. Come on, Carl. Come on. Do something
all it's
well.
one there,
Succeed at something. Push it in. You've got nearly a half a burger there. Or I'll come round there. You're chewing. Don't chew.
I've got a bit of food.
I don't know what he said, but... Is that
What, is that a whole one? No, it's not. I can see bits left.
Come on, Carl, come on, keep working on it. Keep working on it. Look, there's so much space in your mouth, I can see it.
He's going red. Okay. Okay, we'll do another one.
We've
We'll
got
do another one.
that one then.
We're doing a... Oh, are you alright?
Are you going to be sick?
Are you alright?
Alright?
Oh god, should we play a record? He's making my eyes water now. Oh.
Okay, well we've got another question here, which I suppose in some respects is along the same lines. Do you believe in the notion that history is written by the victors, and consequently?
Well, don't tell him what the upshot of that is.
No, I was going to say, and consequently, what does that mean?
Yeah, sorry.
And consequently, what does that mean for history, as we understand it?
Just that stuff's written by the people who won it, type thing.
Won what?
Won whatever they did.
But what yeah. But
Well, if it's a war, the ones who won it wrote it. But
Yeah.
of course you're going to do that. That's what you do, isn't it? You shout about it if you win something. If you lose, you go, oh, don't talk about that, it's depressing.
no, doesn't mean that at all.
because they're not around.
Well, it means very often if someone has conquered a nation or set up a dominance somewhere, that they keep an eye on what goes out, what's propaganda or whatever, or what's taught in schools,
But it's even more significant than that, because it comes down to the very, very minute pieces of information that we see in every walk of life. Prior to black people having their freedom when they were slaves, history, or the history of black people, was not being written by black people. Therefore, it was always seen through white eyes, which often explained, justified, or excused, or dismissed, or didn't even mention many of the abhorrent things that happened. So it's hugely significant.
I suppose you can bring out 2 books. There's loads of books, isn't there? I brought one out. If I can get one out, let the losers bring one out. Is what I mean. Just let everyone have a book, and then you decide. Let people decide which one they want to read. I think they did it with some story where it was like you decide the end.
Okay. That was largely a pointless exercise, wasn't it?
He's got no idea. Carl, do you believe that the future is fixed? Do you believe that your life unfolds as a matter of destiny.
I've heard something about this, where there's some system that it is laid out for you. And even if you want, say if I wanted chicken for my tea, I really fancy having chicken. But when I get to the supermarket, the fella goes, we haven't got any chicken, you're having beef. They say that that was already laid out for you, and that day you were having beef. No matter what happened.
Fatalism. There's a slightly more attractive theory called determinism, where they say it's
well,
not
that's
so much.
If you want chicken, you'd go to the next supermarket and you'd go, well, I'm going to find it.
It doesn't mean it doesn't mean you're determined in that sense. Like you're definitely gonna have chicken tonight. It means that it was determined, as in predetermined. But all determinism basically says is that it's not whether you can choose. It's whether you can choose your choice, because it's it's to do with brain states, and we think we have the illusion of free will because you go, oh, I have a drink, oh, I fancy Coke, but something in you happened that meant you wanted Coke.
Well, this is weird, right? Because do you know how I've been in hospital, having me kidney stones done and what have you? Well, as they do in hospitals. And this is why I don't like going in them.
Did I just try and explain determinism to Karl Pilkington?
Yeah,
What
I
the
didn't
fuck
want
am
to
I
stop
thinking?
you, but
I mean, what am I thinking?
it just made you look more of an idiot than
I
him.
know exactly. Yeah, I feel stupid.
But I'm in hospital, right? And like I've said to you, the annoying thing is when you're in hospital, they didn't just have a play about with the kidney. Whilst they're there, they're fiddling about with other bits, right? And they're like, oh, let's have a
That's
feel now.
libelous.
No, but that's what they do. Whilst you're in, let's have a, prod about. They took some blood, right? And they said to us, now the weird thing is, these kidney stones you had, it was probably caused by too much calcium, right?
That's what they are. They're a calcium build-up where you're not flushing it out, and so it's...
Yeah. Now, the weird thing is there, I don't like having cornflakes. So what I'm saying is, what you were just saying there is your mind or whatever. I've asked you before, I don't know what's in charge. But, say like...
You don't, do you?
Say like when I get up in the morning, normally Suzanne will have some Rice Krispies. And she's like, do you want some? Right? Just have some. And I'm like, no. Now that isn't me saying no. That's the calcium. That's my body going, I don't need any milk. Don't give me milk. I'll have a crumpet.
Now, bear in mind, Rick, that in the space of 3 minutes, we've gone from your definition of determinism to him having a lovely crumpet for breakfast. There's no one else in the world you can have a conversation with where you can make that distance that quickly.
But it is interesting how my body... Have you ever had it, right? Sometimes I can go ages.
No, your body lied to you, because your body said you don't need water, you don't need water, you don't need water.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Like today before I left, Suzanne said, what do you want? Straight away I said, I need some leeks. Now... that operation I've had has obviously taken out whatever the leaks give me. I'm lacking on that.
See, I think he probably has it more than the rest of us, because I think he uses his subconscious more than us. We think about stuff. He is like the leech that is going on chemical memory. Yeah.
Oh, he's only gonna write it down!
That jingle there signifying, of course, once again, another reading from the Diary of Karl Pilkington. Now, of course, for those of you who have not been keeping abreast of Karl's medical complaints, just bring us up to speed, Karl. You had to go into hospital this week, because previously you'd had...
I've been in and out, honestly, I've been in and out of that hospital, just with kidney problems, really painful and what have you. And,
he had kidney stones, alright?
No, but seriously.
Monday. I had a bit of a lie-in today, because I have to get up early for my operation tomorrow. Not only have I got to have tubes shoved up my knob, but I also have to get up at 5:50. Suzanne said I could have what I want for my last dinner. It's not your last dinner, you're going for an operation.
Yeah, but you can't take things for granted these days.
Oh,
I had shepherd's pie and peas. Suzanne made it from scratch. As nice as it was annoying. 'Cause making stuff from scratch means loads of pots, and it's my job to do the washing up. So much as the food was nice, there was loads of pans and that. People who get their last dinner on death row don't have to wash up. Got up at 5:55. You were supposed to be getting up at 5:50 on the other page. You were 5 minutes late getting up.
He's often late.
Often late.
No, just because I needed to have water. before 6 o'clock they said don't have anything after 6.
We'll get up at 5:50 then, like you planned to.
Don't
You having 5 minutes sleeping?
Doesn't take 10 minutes to have water though, does it?
Well, why did you say 5:50 in the first time?
Because then it tricks me head, doesn't it? Going, oh, I had an extra 5 minutes.
Tricks me head. Because then it tricks me head.
It got to the hospital and had to wait in the waiting room. There was another 9 people in there waiting to be sorted. I got called in. They sat me on a bed and took all my details down. 5 minutes later I'd been knocked out. I got woke up when they were ripping a pipe out of my throat. I felt more rough this time. The doctor came to see me and said he couldn't find a stone, so I must have passed it. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, we filled your kidney with water and expanded it and there was no hiding place. I sat in the recovery room for an hour while they found me a bed. One of the fellows who was sat in the room with me this morning got wheeled in. They couldn't wake him up. All the nurses were laughing because he didn't want to wake up. I bet they were laughing at me when I was in the theatre. Someone told me they totally strip you when they're operating. I would have looked like the alien on the Boswell incident.
Boswell! Boswell!
It's quite a nice analogy if it weren't for the fact that you said Boswell.
It's
the Roswell incident. Didn't sleep much through the night because there was a 60-year-old fella shouting at the nurse about his pillows. I don't think I slept through a full hour with one thing or another going on. My bed was next to the toilet, so I kept hearing the flush.
How do they sleep in hospitals, though? They wake you up to give you fucking sleeping pills and things, don't they? How do you sleep in there? It's always hot. It's always like 90 degrees.
There's no air.
Is that to make you drink water?
I don't know what it is. There's no air. There was an old fella across from me who kept breaking wind. He didn't even try and cover it. He was just of that age where he didn't care. Just like, that's what I do. I'm in the hospital, leave me alone.
What do you mean?
Just, I don't know what was wrong with him. I talked to him because at first I felt sorry for him. I was a little bit like, you know, he's had no visitors. No one's calling him up, so I'll talk to him. But then he got that familiar with me that he'd just be doing it whilst I'm chatting to him. Just like he's my granddad or something. It's just like, oh, that's what he does. It's like, well, I'm ill as well. Stop doing that. Honestly, unbelievable. He didn't even try and cover it with a cough. It was just like, that's...
With a cough! How would you cover it with a cough?
Just non-stop.
Got home and sat down. My pains are coming back, but the doctor said this would happen and that my insides are still in shock, so I need to take it easy. It's 9 o'clock. I'm in agony. I can't do the diary for the rest of the day. Jesus. So you may as well just tell us then what happened.
Right, well, yeah, after that, went back in. Suzanne just got frustrated with me because I was rolling about on the floor and she was trying to watch Arthur, right? So that was on the other night.
I thought it was with your lodger.
So,
and she said, look, if you're in pain, do something. She said, you know...
You went and got a cold plate.
Yeah. No, use an ashtray. Plates are for liver damage.
She said, right, come on. Let's, I can't put up with this. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So we left the flat and what have you. Got in a taxi. He filled up on the way, which was annoying.
He didn't.
That is cheeky.
That really, I mean, he could
On the way to the hospital.
So,
because he's not an ambulance driver.
Did you explain that to where you were going
I
to?
was in that sort of thing where you just can't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? I was in a sweat and stuff.
He came back with a scratch card and some barbecue
briquettes. Yeah.
So anyway, he gets us there and he doesn't charge us, which is pretty decent.
That's all right, yeah.
So I go in, and there's like, I don't know if you've been in like A&E at like 2:30 in the morning. It's just depressing. Fluorescent light doesn't help because it makes everyone look iller than they actually are. So in there was a woman who was just sat there crying. She wasn't holding onto any part of her body. She was just sat there whinging. And when you're feeling bad, you've got that going on. So you just want to tell her to shut up. There was a fella who was like moped over in a wheelchair that someone had just chucked in.
Moped over?
It looked like somebody had just sort of found him and wheeled him in.
Nurse? Who's the guy moped over?
So this gay fella came through. And,
how do you know he was gay?
Just the way he was. I'm not having a go. He was a good fella. Do you know what I mean?
A doctor, you mean?
No, he was a nurse.
Right.
And he came through and just sort of went, "Oh, how are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I've had better days." So he got
As you mentioned in the diary, I remember the first time when I came here, they said the nurse might put a tablet up my arse. I thought the chances of that happening had just increased.
Oh, God!
Yeah, but I would have let him do it. Honestly, I was that sort of out of it. That
Of course you'd let him do it. He's a qualified nurse.
No, but the way I am now, say if it was just a tablet for sorting out my blood pressure, and I walked in there and he went, "Oh, hello," and he said, "Yeah, let's pop that." I'd go, "Hang on a minute." But what I mean is that night I would have just let him put 3 up, honestly. it's just weird, isn't it? How your body just goes, let them get on with it, and you trust anyone, don't you? When you're in that much pain and you need.
And they're a qualified nurse, yes.
They gave me some morphine, and my sort of head caved in again like last time, and then the pain went. But anyway, just turns out that I'd had a load of like blood clots in the bit from my kidney to my bladder, and that was acting as a sort of a stone again.
No, it's just a scab, isn't it, where it's curing it? So.
No, but all the work, when they blew up the kidney 4 times its normal size, so there was no hiding place for the stone.
Yeah.
So when they did that, it caused a lot of blood. It must have ripped the sides of it and stuff. And then that blood was in the kidney, and it went down the pipe and blocked it up a little bit. And that's the pain that I had. It was sort of, had problems getting through all this thick blood that they caused.